one of the top spots.
Yep, so a pivotal first game here for both sides. The top seed from NA, CLG, will take to the Rift against the second LMS side here on Flash Rules, but don't let that seeding placement fool you. This team is very good, and Maple, certainly the player to watch out for there.
Yeah, and a team that will definitely be watching these games, obviously the Coup Tigers. They have the most threat coming out against them for potential domination in this group from CLG, and to a second extent from Flash Rules. So to get to see this match first is very beneficial for them.
We'll be playing next, of course, up against Pain, but we have this game to get to first as CLG is moving themselves pretty aggressively to the top left-hand side of the jungle, trying to get those wards down.
Yeah, we were looking at the stats earlier for lane swaps. Traditionally, in LMS, we don't just see that many lane swaps, but if you look at the gold values that Flash Rules generate when they lane swap, they're actually a better lane swapping team. Comparable gains compared to CLG, but I feel like CLG does it in a tougher region because LMS isn't accustomed to lane swaps. Obviously, Flash Rules, they get away with a lot of sketchy moves sometimes, whereas CLG, they're in a region that plays the Western lane swap, which in our opinion very often is credited as the better style. Whether you agree or not. CLG actually thrives and actually very often comes ahead in that lane swap, so this does end up being 2v1. It could be interesting.
Yeah, and here you see CLG waiting in the fog of war, not trying to give away any information until absolutely necessary. There it is, and they're going to see the bottom lane down bottom. So coming in here to try and check those Krugs. Flash Wolves are going to end up 2v2.
And now I can see Smith.
They're starting them very late here.
Yep, are going to team up. They're staking Casa, actually, of course. Double jungling, but we can see Sword Art and Kramer moved in, try to block them away. A little bit of experience there for CLG, but did not complete the camp.
Yeah, we just did a head count. We talked about champion diversity in top lane first. This is 9 different mid lane picks in 10 different games, with the only repeat actually being the Azir. So again, so many different champions coming out today.
Yeah, definitely unique champion's a big deal, but another big deal here is CLG. Yeah, they got the deep wards down, and they got off the aggressive jungle start. Smithy with Zion Spartan were able to take away the red from Flash Wolves in the opening to this game for the lane swap. So CLG already off to a good start. Talked about the experience they have with lane swaps. They got so many advantages through the normal season, through lane swaps, getting not only double lift ahead, but also Zion Spartan CS advantage for the early game.
And that's actually really smart what they did. They moved in on the left side of the map where you traditionally see the map divided in half. Okay, we take the left side because we have this triple deep ward combo, and we use that vision to secure at least 2 quadrants of the map. Then we do whatever we want. Standard Western lane swaps plays out. But CLG, they based. They faked that lane swap. Then they went back to say, okay, double lift and Afro mode, you have to move into the dark, but you're smart enough, you're good enough to handle that. In addition to that, you have then that aggressive jungle start that you just pointed out. And suddenly, CLG find themselves ahead in terms of map pressure already before the games even started.
Yeah, it's especially Double Lift and Aphromoo, who are the bottom lane, who are never afraid to go into any 2 versus 2 matchup, regardless of champion advantage or not, catching the Flash Wolves by surprise. Now, we talk about all these stylistic differences that we spent so long researching from these teams and collecting a lot of data on them. One of the biggest differences across regions was actually between these specific teams, Counter Logic Gaming and Flash Wolves, looking at where early game kills occurred within the first 15 minutes. CLG actually had the least of any team as far as kills around the bottom jungle, which is generally just around the dragon area. And signifies a lot of fights around that dragon area. Only 9.6% of their kills on that bottom side, whereas Flash Wolves were 24.5% of their kills down there, where CLG much more top lane focused in their lane swaps, where Double Lift and Aphromoo and Smithy were getting kills up there.
And obviously, Flash Wolves have done their research, as does CLG, so both know that these trends exist, both know that each other knows that the trend exists, so we may see some good old mind games here. Double Lift finally reaching level 2, and then Aphromoo may just skill heal here for some sustain, or get ready for a combo. We haven't seen him use the heal yet. Just gonna check what he got.
Yeah, he's got plenty of sustain here, with the relic, as well as the option to level up heal. But no summoner or no spells necessary for him to level up yet. So
he hasn't skilled anything, so he can still go for WQ combo, or he can skill a heal if he needs to. That's actually very adaptive.
Yeah, what he's waiting for right now is for Double Lift to take a bad trade. If Double Lift got hit there, then level up the heal so he can get the most out of his AoE heal both of them.
Casa.
He's behind, and Smithy going top here.
Yep, Smithy looking for that gank onto stake here. Cocoon not quite there as the hop will get Nah out to safety.
Yeah, but look at the amount of range minions there. That wave is pushing away from Stake. That's going to be hard. He has the range advantage on Spartan, but obviously CLG is comfortably pushed in their bottom lane tower here. We see a repeat gank from Smithy.
Gonna go back in. Flash is good from Stake as he barely misses getting apprehended.
I was actually very surprised that Smithy didn't come again from the tri-brush, because he should have taken the information he got from the first gank, seeing the reaction time of Stake, and inferred that there was no ward in there already. Yet he came around from the jungle, didn't get any range on it this time. And yes, it is just a flash trade, but Smithy stayed up there quite a while.
Well, this looks really good for CLG. It does nullify some of the advantage that CLG had. They had more jungle camps available to them due to the level 1 start, but Flash was kind of neutralized that by sending their jungle into the enemy jungle. That is what Stake does, right? He absorbs. He absorbs. We often joke around it, but he is literally left alone on an island, and then the remaining part of the map has to be won by the Flash Wolves 4 against 4.
Yeah, again though, so much focus from Smithy. He's going back a third time to pressure top, and they are really trying to earn Zion a lead. He's not on the ward, because you just go up the send here by the river. They know he doesn't have flash. Smithy should get close for this one first.
Stake certainly hasn't seen him. Cocoon will land. Apprehend. He's going to follow through. Stake just enough to hop away.
Bounce.
And no summoners left to follow.
That's 3 ganks in under 5 minutes. Minions spawn and meet at 2 minutes, so that's 1 gank per minute coming at Stake.
Smithy, dismiss your spiders. They want the wave to be frozen there in front of Zion Spartan, so dismissing those spiders and getting them over to attack quicker.
See a roam from Maple coming out. This is Flash was like doing, but double lift and Afro getting caught here.
Yeah, good game sense. Actually, maybe a call from Pobelter. You never know what's going on in the comms. Could have been a call, could have been game sense, but any time they back up like that, Maple actually has to go right back to mid lane so he doesn't lose out on too many minions. Karsa did have a pretty good recovery, by the way. You mentioned going for that counter jungle, seeing Smithy up top. At least the Flash Wolves were able to get Karsa back on track at the expense of Stake. Yes, there is a huge CS discrepancy, but Karsa was able to get his red at least. Yeah. Or steal the red.
Might look to have a gank in the mid lane here as Maple having a bit of trouble here against Lulu. Good glitter lance there from Pobelter.
But yeah, that roam cost him tempo and pressure, and now Pobelter, he can just push out that lane. He's still on a lot of resources here, so if Maple is down, Karsa, we praised him for his jungling and his aggressive jungle, but he really hasn't found an opening just yet because CLG made his path very predictable. Because Zion was spending so much time in the top lane where he started, it kind of forced Maple to take that path from top right to bottom right, and then base, and then try and help Stake somehow. So he's trying to stay afloat, but he's not really finding any openings right now.
Yeah, one of the best parts of CLG's early game and of their lane swaps is how they disseminate as little information as possible in the early game. And it keeps Flash Wolves guessing for the early stages and makes you have to react very quickly as a jungler, make very quick decisions. Now, after so much pressure top, looks like Karsa's going to even the odds.
I mean, Zion Spartan did use his flash earlier, so it kind of has to work almost, because look at that CS discrepancy right there. 26 to 47. Zion Spartan doubling Stake's farm already.
And Karsa is looking for something here, but he hasn't quite picked the angle. Zion Spartan is a little far forward in the lane. Ulti's ready for Stake. He's going to go in for it. Karsa finds the knock-up. Good wall up there as well. Can they combo it all the way? There's the ulti out from Nah. And a wonderful CC chain is maybe just going to get first blood. Yes, it is. Karsa takes it.
Poor Stake. He gets skanked 3 times on a no-flash target. Doesn't even get the kill. He's going as well. I'm going to flash, take that gold, and bring it to bot lane, guys.
Hey, Karsa earned that money. He came back after Stake had blown so much, and CLG had spent everything trying to keep him down. Flash Wolves get the first blood. They're ahead in gold now.
That almost has to be an error in communication, though. Like a flashless target stuck in the brush, zoned by 2 guys. You don't want to use your flash aggressively there if you're Karsa, especially when you can get Stake rolling and give him a kill. So hopefully he can stop bleeding out CS in the top lane. But let's see what Karsa does with this. Perhaps he just has a really aggressive Rek'Sai build plan to start becoming a split pusher later.
I never sympathize with top laners, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here to tell their story.
Tell who the jungler of the group is, as Karsa does take his red buff. No, head back home to spend that juicy first blood money. Pobelter hanging out in mid lane, got his chalice already going. His bottom side now double lift. BF sword up, but Tristana does have the same as Pobelter. Gonna get himself the blue buff.
Oh, we saw some aggression in the top lane. Look at the deep vision Flash Wolves have acquired in CLG's red jungle. Those are triple ward, very deep here. Afro getting zoned out, pink ward getting cleared. Both 80 carries have a BF sword, so things can get explosive very quickly, especially with the deep vision they have acquired.
That's Smithy now going to clear out the scuttlecraft. Karsa wants to fight him for it.
So, yeah, Karsa was underground, didn't see the low health crab there, or else he would have shot the Prey Seeker and stolen it. The one small disadvantage there of Rek'Sai. Yes, you get your tremor sense, but can't see the crab scuttling away, and free gold goes down the drain.
Would let of gold as well. Older Scuttler as X-Smithy will clear this Raptor camp out for himself. He's level 6, actually, going for that Runeglaive, the item we've seen so many times out of Elise, ever since sort of the changes moved through, as Maple going to get his blue up now as well. A very generous donation from Karsa.
So Steak's happy to see this because he knows exactly where X-Smithy is. He got an assist. He's playing as Darius, so he can use his range advantage, and he's closing the gap in CS, or at least keeping the absolute number even. So as time goes on, relatively becomes a lot easier to deal with. CLG pushed in the bottom too, so Flash Wolves are playing with a lot of information.
Yeah, it was actually, that's so smart for Flash Wolves when Smithy's obviously camping up top and Steak is spending that time, trying to evade all of these attacks.
Absorbing.
Yeah, and he did it well. He was able to evade all of the ganks, but they spent it wisely. Yes, they counter jungle. They were able to take away the red buff. They got deep vision down, which they can now use to take this dragon. They can see any sort of approach from CLG, and Karsa's going to be able to get an objective for his team as well.
Yeah, Maple's zoning mid lane away with Fog of War because he hides in that burst, so Pobelter can't face check because Doublelift and Aftermoon have been continuously pushed in the bot lane. In combination with that deep vision, again, it gives the entire bot lane, bottom jungle, 2 Flash Wolves in both pressure and vision that manifests in a dragon, which they love doing that. So it doesn't seem they're changing up their playstyle, their trends. They want to go for those early 5 dragons.
It's a smart little play there to get the dragon as Maple goes in. X-Smithy forced to repel up, but Pobelter is here in reserve. The Cocoon will land. Little Lance is good. Damage not going to be followed in.
Yeah, you have to be very careful about fully committing to that kill on Echo, obviously because of the ult, and he could burst the Smithy down afterwards. So just trying to chuck him out and then retreat. Pobelter able to pull off the evacuation.
Done a good job in this lane as well. 10 CS ahead there, and Doublelift also having a good game. 25 CS ahead because the Afro zoning Kramer away. The rocket jump cancelled as Doublelift is going to look for the zap, and the flash will get forced out.
Good punish on the roam right there. They see Sword Art, leave the lane, immediately go aggressive, and they get a summoner for their troubles.
Also hard to land that combo. Alistair's W got slowed down. Many very proficient supports do fail. Okay, I'm joking. I'm the only one. Yeah. No, but yeah, good cancel there. Kramer had more time to flash, get out of there, but yeah, decides to use a jump. Very risky. Has to burn his flash.
And in general, the pressure starting to mount here for CLG. There's not much of a gold lead here, only 300 or 200 up for CLG, but they're continuing to push their lanes and apply pressure. Smithy's found himself on top of a ward.
His sweeper is off cooldown as well, and he has a pink ward in inventory here.
Karsa will be able to dodge it as a result. Zion Spartan, though, so I'm proxying earlier on, going to try and take the big Krug here as well. So much topside pressure.
Yeah, but look at Pobelter. He's moving in as well. He's just adding more aggression to that 2v2. I think they're already stronger here. Zion Spartan and X-Smithy against Steak and Karsa, but then with the potential roam of Pobelter, just so much pressure, so much zoning, and again, Steak's forced to max range CS, so no pressure at all coming out of him.
Honestly, though, all props to Steak, because obviously it's a combination of Steak being able to avoid the ganks, but also
he's gotten really good at that.
And also Smithy, not optimally pulling them off, but he's done very well for himself up here, only being down 15 or so. And here comes Karsa once again. He does have flash, but so does Zion. So
I mean, they saw each other in the jungle earlier, so they can obviously deduce. But yeah, Karsa is a very patient jungler. Let's see if he runs into X-Smithy. Flash Wolves do cover their grounds. They don't go for any plays that have the risk of getting backfired, of getting roamed upon here. Karsa going for, again, deep vision. They really value that deep vision this game.
Yeah, the big difference here between Karsa getting that first blood and Smithy spending so much time trying to gank top is that Karsa got the Sight Stone to work with really early, so he's getting the deep vision, and he's looking for the tower dive.
Yeah, they're going in for it as well. Zion Spartan flashes out of the Unburrow, though. Gets out with style.
That probably was the reason we saw Karsa flash there. Get that early Sight Stone, get the vision, say, well, I'll find a jungler for you at the other side of the map, Steak. You hang on there. We always joke around about how Steak always gets ganked, but he did a fantastic job surviving.
We have to watch the repercussions after this as well. I mean, Zion's got no flash. They didn't burn flashes to get that out of him either, so very dangerous. Zion intelligently backing off here, and he's going to leave that turret, even though there's a wave up there, and that's not what he would like to do.
Yeah, Sorter has roamed a little bit too much, so that bottom lane tower, you can't leave Jinx alone with a tower without any threat there for too long, because she'll get it. And once CLG opens up one tower, they are incredibly proficient at playing the map and start moving these resources around. So Flash will definitely want to avoid that tower from falling. as long as they can get one return gank on Zion Spartan. Kill him once, then you're okay trading towers, because then you can start speeding up the game, and Steak's fine in the game again.
Yeah, I do like this pink ward that they've placed at the their own tri-bush here, because it will stay alive the entire time.
Oh!
Afromu goes in for the flash combo. All Rocket Jump was already off, though. And Kramer does escape.
Yeah, just got the mini stun there, but it wasn't quite enough to get a kill. CLG, though, will get a tower in bottom lane, so starting to chug ahead a little bit more in gold now, about 1,400 up in this game.
CLG take a tower here, and 1 minute, 50 seconds for Dragon. Let's see how Flash Rules are going to approach this next minute. Are they actually going to contest that? Going to do their signature playstyle where they really want to fight for these Dragons, get these kills. They have some good skirmishing available, and obviously they have a really good team fighting support in that Braum.
Yeah, plus, Steak has actually been able to complete his Black Cleaver already on the Gnar, so he's ready to join the team fight if he can build up his Rage Bar.
Yeah, but it is tricky though. Black Cleaver is a very split push oriented build here on that Gnar. Obviously, he can't soak much damage, he can melt immediately, he can get kited incredibly easy in this team fight, so we'll need to see a really good teleport from him. Other than that, Flash Wolves are probably better off split pushing with him.
See, he is doing just that right now. Steak looking to apply some pressure as Zion does walk his way back to the top lane with that Phage. Steak will now go back. It seems like Flash Rules with a minute left are going to start setting up for Dragon number 2 for them. But CLG trying to play aggressive in the bottom side and protect the area of Sword Art. Going to get the Winter's Bite down, fighting over pink wards. They'll all go down.
Yeah, Maple showing himself, though, means you can't commit to that fight, and you'll let him get away with it.
Vuelta returns to the mid lane. Blue buff nice and fresh there out of his own jungle.
I do like this swap here from Flash Wolf, sending Tristana mid to wave clear and having Echo down bottom, letting Maple get some extra CS there with the turret down. Gonna have to be very careful about it, though.
Yeah, we haven't seen that too much in the summer split because it was mostly control mages, and they thrive obviously in the mid lane, controlling the mid lane. But if you go back to earlier when assassins were very meta, that's what they did. You know, you start laning the first 15 minutes, but then you put that assassin in the side lane, he becomes another split push pet, and you can really start, you know, pulling CLG's members apart. Don't let them team fight. Force them into the 1v1s, 2v2s, 1v1 on top lane. Spread them out. And then if you have a good aggressive jungler, you can really exploit that, especially with the way Flash was out been warding.
You can see some pressure now for CLG. Trying to open up the map a bit. Dragon is back, but Poe Belter and Xmithy as Cocoon will land. Damage is good there with the AP out of the Runeglaive, but CLG can't quite knock the turret down yet.
And now that the laning phase has kind of ended and people are moving around the map a lot more, this is where Flash Wolves has failed in the past when they started Kramer, because there were communication issues. Steak for a 1v1 here on Zion Spartan.
Yep, Zion does get slowed though. Steak and now follow it in. Have to be careful, like you mentioned already. Darius is very easy to kite. The CLG are going to look around, try and get aggressive. They do really want to open up the map so they can secure that dragon, but the vision battle is the big one here.
Yep, this time it's Sword Art who goes in deep, and he's placed an extra ward behind to see anyone coming, gets inside of the queue.
Oh, ulti out though from Steak. Zion's going to get stunned up. Glacial Fissure out as well. And it's so much CC as Sword Art collects it.
More revenge for Steak here. He's got a team as well. He paid his dues. He soaked all the early ganks, and now everyone's coming up to help gank Zion.
We started talking about these stylistic differences. One team very oriented on top lane, getting those skills there, and one team very oriented around that vision control and dragon, but this game completely swapped around for that second dragon there. CLG's lineup is incredibly strong if they get vision control, because it's so hard to face check into them, especially when you play like these assassins and skirmishers. So Flash was with a good read on the game to send their support top lane again for the CC combo dive.
Yeah, the front line doing well is actually really important too, because both of these teams have reset AD carries. So the team fights are going to be very snowball-y when one member of the front line does go down.
Well, you can see Flash Wolves did get the kill, but did lose a dragon as CLG were able to collect their first. Infinity Edge, though, now completed for Doublelift. Had the Everest Blade ticking away, but it is a big burst in power for the CLG AD carry. Now Flash Wolves going to keep themselves moving down. They're going to group up and try and knock down a turret. It's one apiece so far, but they might be able to take the early turret
This
lead.
is where I really like Braum as well for sieging, because you can see there he blocks so much of the wave clear. Now they're going to go aggressive on Afro, and they actually get his ultimate out.
Yeah, they popped it, but they can't follow in. Doublelift does get a slow. Will CLG look for the re-engage? Zion holds onto his port. They'll save it for now.
Yeah, that was an incredibly good unbreakable there from Sword Art, just stopping that wave clear here. Steak, don't fail to hop.
Oh. Got to pick the right spot, does find it as Zion's roaming down, but he's spotted by a ward. Now CLG's turn to group in mid and try and knock down a turret. But the W out there from Maple, going to get a bit aggressive onto Xmithy to follow it in. Aphromoo, he's dived straight through there as the repel has been used. Xmithy forced to flash out. The chompers are good.
This is a bad fight for CLG. Stake goes in.
Scoops them. Zion Spartan, though, not enough as Afro. No, ulti has to back away from the fight as well. And it's just Chaos, the ulti, blocked by Casa.
That was a very, very bold re-engage from Stake. Yeah, they used a lot of cooldowns, but it was so hard. He was so far in front of his team, and he's not that tanky yet. Remember, he's building Black Cleaver.
Yeah, he was trying to throw the reset over to Kramer because they knew Aphromoo didn't have his ultimate steal. Now Zion has to use his flash defensively as well, and Stake comes back in with the teleport.
I'm really liking Suara's Braum play here overall, just the way he's positioning in these fights. Earlier, when his teammates got caught, he soaked up a lot of damage there. If he wasn't in place with that Unbreakable, that could have been multiple resets and the tower for CLG, so keep your eyes on Sword Art in these fights.
Yeah, the number one thing I look for with good Braum play is offensive use of the Unbreakable, trying to get it up very early to get your team in front and get good positioning, because then it'll come off cooldown later.
Well, Smithy is going to recall himself as we had a lot of tension in that mid lane. Flash Wolves do still find themselves up 2-1, but you can kind of tell it's only 2 kills. These teams are getting itchy to really fight each other and start a brawl.
Yeah, CLG's pink wards on the map have really been lacking. That's why we see 3 of them in their inventory. Hopefully they can place them and start using them for vision control. They lost the vision control they had acquired earlier on that dragon. Flash Wolves moved in, took that away. They have some good defensive pink wards of their own, so honestly, quite impressed with the vision both teams have been bringing here to the table this match.
You can see CLG have swapped the duo lane to the top lane as well. Again, trying to equalize the tower. That one's almost a gimme as Doublelift takes it out and gets excited.
And look how Flash Wolves are distributing their resources. Swordheart is backing up Stake. They said, Stake, you're no longer playing on Island. You've done your job. You got us here. Now you can carry.
Hey, Kramer helped also.
Yeah.
I mean, Karsa.
Yeah. Karsa, everybody's helping Stake. Everybody takes turns helping Stake against Zion Spartan.
Well, Zion actually slightly down in CS. They've done a great job getting him back into this game. You can see, oh, that's aggressive as Kramer. Gonna go straight in for it. Pobelta does have the charge on top, but he's popped his wild growth already. Maybe gonna go for the re-engage, but
yeah, CLG collapsing first here.
That's a mind game by Kramer. Nobody would dare jumping in there alone without backup there for Pobelta respects him. I think if Pobelta found him and the Jinx could come in, Kramer was probably just, dead, but obviously you have to respect the potential backup there unless you have perfect vision.
Hey, he was able to get the Lulu ultimate out of Pobelter for this fight if there is an engage here.
This long siege causing problems, it seems, for CLG. They're trying to equalize these turrets, but the Flash Wolves are there against Stake. Threatening now with the rage building up. The slow does land off the boomerang. Good repel gets him out.
And if you look at the teleports as well, Stake no teleport. Zion Spartan has it. This is why Flash Wolves are grouping. They don't want to get into a situation where Stake 1v1 Spartan, but he gets the flank off. So as long as this teleport's on cooldown, we're going to see more grouping from the Flash Wolves.
Yeah, it's a really smart move also to try and get that deep vision in, preempting any sort of Baron here and trying to keep away the blue buff from Pobelter.
Good steal as a result there as well for Maple. He does collect it. Dragon up in a minute here. Baron is alive. Both teams with fairly good Baron damage, so is a consideration in the next few minutes. And they're only getting stronger. It's been a fairly close game, honestly. 200 gold ahead, if that, up for the Flash with the CLG. Are going to finally get the mid lane turret.
They keep on knocking, and they're finally able to take this one down. Zion also has been able to shove the wave all the way to the turret. So CLG trying to pressure 2 points at once. They're able to complete their objective. And they not only take the turret, but also destroy a cannon to the minion. Turret.
Taking advantage of that teleport advantage.
Destroy a lot of things.
As well.
Overall here, Flash Wolves have to move here to stop Zion Spartan. And then I think this is a phase where CLG is traditionally very strong once those 3 inner turrets fall off, because they're really smart when it comes to getting just a couple deep wards and start rotating around the map. We'll have to see how well Flash Wolves have adapted to that. How much practice they had against good rotating teams, because they play in, some call it underrated region, some call it just a weaker region, debatable, but CLG have a lot of experience in this exact situation where the early 3 towers falls, and that's where they get a lot of leads overall in the LCS.
Yeah, for the LMS, Flash Wolves do have longer than average games as well, so they have also had experience in the longer ones. We'll see if the mid-game here tells a different story. No kills so far for CLG in the entire game.
So yeah, we see some items completed. We have faced an amount of completed here on Aphromoo. That means he's going to be building Zeke's next, and if he gets that again, we've talked about it before, how strong that item is on Doublelift. We have essentially a Jara Jinx composition that you're running here with Ziggs combined, that Doublelift will be able to solo carry this game if it goes late. Talk 40 minutes, 45 minutes into the game.
And Dragon gets taken by Flash Wolves on the other side. CLG cannot use those big items to try and force a fight. Strong objective control there from the Flash Wolves to collect their second. And it's been a real battle between these two teams. The gold leaders sprung back and forth in very small increments. And so, like we've sort of been hinting at, feels like we're building up to a very bloody and explosive mid-game.
We just see very mirrored item builds. Support's building the same thing, top lane's building the same thing. The only thing different here is the mid lane. CLG, a little early on that Baron.
Yeah, unfortunate ward there. The nooks and crannies of the Baron pit are...
Gotta sweep that. Gotta place that pink ward slightly more forward. That is very close, but sadly not seen.
Doublelift and Afra going to go back. Doublelift sees some farm, does want to collect it, as he want to do. Kramer again goes aggressive. Good cocoon, though, going to keep himself safe. But this Tristana, very itchy trigger fingers on that rocket jump.
This time you can see the rest of the team, though.
Yeah.
Not as good a bluff then, perhaps, as Fletchers aren't done. They're going to shove down mid here.
Yeah, speaking of bluffs, though, CLG, they're actually continuing to shove up top with Doublelift and Afro, but keeping pressure while just using wave clear of the Lulu in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Zion's looking for his 1v1 now.
Obviously, Flashers, they're afraid to really commit to that tier 1 tower. Yeah, they could potentially use Unbreakable to block Pobelter's wave clear, but they have no idea of how many people can be in that river because that's completely pink warded. That one ward sees the Baron pit, but that's all it sees, a Baron. So no vision in the river at all for Flash Wolves. And CLG, they will soon deduce that there is a ward in the pit because you could see it immediately once Flash Wolves reacted. CLG stopped that Baron. They're going at it again, though. Ward spots it.
Well, it has started, but they haven't seen the ward just yet. They are going to maybe just try and zerg it down. You can see a pause, actually. Mildly awkward time, but...
Well, it gives us more time to talk about the game.
Certainly does. And a good Baron call, honestly, from CLG, but that ward may come to bite them.
No, under the assumption that there is no ward in Pitchwood is incredibly likely for CLG. That is a very unfortunate angle here on that ward. It is a fantastic call because Flash Wolves have to react immediately. And they,
yeah, or else you get it.
Yeah, and in their minds, if that area is dark, they're so scared to face check too because CLG could very well just be baiting you into that composition you really don't want to run into. So, good call by CLG. Unfortunate for them, there is a ward in the pit, so Flash was working here with my perfect information.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a look at the team fight then, because we may be seeing an actual 5v5 fairly soon here, and how it will play out. Maple has completed the key item for Echo there on top of his Morellos. He now has the Zhonya's as well, which makes the AP Echo so much more viable. If you can get your ultimate off 4 damage, with which Zhonya's enables, it's a huge, huge swing in his power. And they're trying to combo the AoEs here from Stake as well as Maple, with the initiation from Stake trying to chain it with Maple's own stun as well as the ultimate, and use that to get Kramer his resets.
I just got note from production too. This is actually a pause not made by any of the teams. This is actually our guys checking on the legality of that ward, just checking how that vision works out, just to make sure that there's nothing fishy going on. That's why we're checking that out. So hopefully, once that resolved, we can get back into the game. But so far, a lot more even game, honestly, than I had expected. I had pitched CLG first in this group, and like, perhaps even slightly underrated Flash Wolves because they've really showed up. Stake.
I think underrated Stake. A lot of people have.
It was almost a meme, let's face it. Like, Stake, he's on the top lane, he's going to feed, food jokes coming out of the analyst desk. He gets 3 ganks against him in the first 3 minutes of actual gameplay. From 2 to 5 minutes, 3 ganks against him. It only takes Karsa to come back once to punish that burn flash on Zion Spartan, and kill goes to Stake.
I do have to say, CLG could have played those games better as well. So it is 2-part. Yeah, Stake does deserve credit, but also CLG could have played those better.
And it's so funny as well, because you look at the game now, you can see the score about 25 minutes into the game, so fairly far through it all. And those two assists are the only 2 kills in this game, so it's all been Stake, and that's just been a lot of positioning.
I mean, it means a lot for this game, because there's a distinct possibility where Stake, if he doesn't get that assist on that kill, completely alters his build path. If he falls behind and his Black Cleaver is too slow to match the tempo to the game, he very may well build full tank, giving Zion Spartan so much more split push pressure, and then we could have seen an entirely different game. So, couple details, couple slight misplays or plays differently can really shape the early to mid game.
Certainly can. As you can see Stake there on your screen. That absolutely wild hair of his, looking good under his headset.
Yeah, another effect also, to continue on your point, that it is going to have is in these team fights. Doublelift is the #1 most important person on CLG. Powelter has to. We talked about.
You act like that's something new.
Well,
Doublelift is the most important player on CLG.
Hold on. You were like, oh yeah, they focus on top lane so much. They're gonna try and get Zion ahead. There's Zion. There, boost Zion strategy.
Yeah, true.
Did not work out.
Secondary in rank though, if you look at farm share too. Zion's partner gets a lot because Powelter gets a little, but it is Doublelift.
Yeah. Hey, I was the one to drop the 33%.
You got the knowledge.
Anyway, it just re-emphasizes that this is the Jinx composition, and you need to get. And it puts a lot more pressure on Doublelift to be able to evade the AoE from Stake, from Maple.
Just Maple
in that team fight.
Maple is going to be so hard to deal with because you can throw your traps out, but if you zone him out once, he can always come back with the ulti, and he only needs a couple of spells to one-shot you because AP mid Echo now that the scaling has been just upped on that AP damage, less base damage, does a lot of damage.
Afro has been a good bodyguard for Doublelift for a very long time, so he'll be looking for him to get some good headbutts in.
Flash Rules learned from CLG's mistake. They placed the pink ward even deeper in the pit. They really want to see everything going on here. But yeah, the Dragon Dance has slowly been replaced by a Baron Dance. Yeah, on edge here in this game.
It is, and as we pop back in, it's really been Flash Rules just coming back and cleaning all the vision out of that Baron area that CLG have put down. So we will have a bit of a reset here as far as warding and positioning goes. Kramer even going to go back and buy himself his next item. Might look for a lifesteal item here, might just want the Last Whisper as a bit of future-proofing. But so many strong carries, and now tanks as well actually on either side. Stake just finished that Randuin's Omen.
I actually wonder what Doublelift's going to build here, if he's going to go for the early Last Whisper for damage efficiency, or if he just values his just being able to stay alive in this fight a little more. Bloodthirster is a distinct possibility coming out here. He needs at least some lifesteal here to really even make that health that he gets from Wu even more valuable, because he stays alive, regens up again, and it's becoming increasingly harder to kill him, because if he stays alive, he's really the driving force for CLG in these team fights.
Well, Doublelift going to answer your question. Crepo, it is the Last Whisper. Actually had a lot of money banked up. So able to take that away. Even Pobelter with an extra needlessly large rod, as these teams have gone from 2 items to 2.5 or more very swiftly. Deadman's Plate also completed for Zion. So both teams still scaling up.
Yeah, so Doublelift has a lot of faith in the face of the mountain shield coming out of Aframu, and then just the shields coming out of Pobelter here. Hopefully his faith is rewarded.
Well, if he's the most important member of CLG, I hope his team can protect him. Nice dodge. Doublelift out of that Winter's Bite. He's going in. This is full-on Jugger Jinx mode as he's just firing away.
All right, let's see how this push for vision does work. CLG right now, what they're trying to do is up their ward line. And Doublelift gets some crits on Sword Art.
Oh, doesn't get the snipe though. Zap will get dodged as that Glacial Fissure was burned.
Yep, Sword Art's got to be very careful. Everybody's watching for the rocket to come through here. And that is Doublelift keeps it.
That is so big in terms of tempo. Not only does Sword Art has to expend his flash and ultimate, he also has to base. That is one of your main warders, since there's a side zone on Skarsa, but he can't really aggressively move in here. So CLG have retaken complete control. And they learned from their mistake. They're getting vision even deeper into the enemy jungle, and now Flash Rules have to face a set of brushes. Bullets are going in.
Yep, flash out from Pobelter as Zion gonna go in, but Stake looks for the scoop. He gets 2, but Doublelift gonna keep firing. Afro headbutt Stake out, but that might actually be the best spot. Maple gonna get stunned up by a cocoon as again these fights so close to starting.
Oh, they're looking for a re-engage here. Oh, nice slow there to take the Dead Man's Plate bonus movement speed off of Zion Spartan.
CLG might just look for a siege instead. Doublelift very far forward. Gonna fire into that turret. Afro looking for a dive. Maple out with the slow though as Afro gets stunned by Braum. Double still firing as Afro's forced to pop that ulti, and he's going absolutely nuts.
Sword Art was able to keep the turret upright though. But
oh my god, the crit! Doublelift gets the first kill, but he does get taken out here, and now Flash Wolves will keep fighting. Maple managed to scoop in as the dual lane is dead from CLG.
Paid for that crit with his life.
He's like, guys, I got the re. Oh, I'm dead.
He was excited, yes, but nowhere to go from there. That does mean that Flash Wolves will have priority on Dragon here. They've got the vision, and they have their jungler as well.
Should have bought a Bloodthirster.
Oh, come on.
No, this is 2020 hindsight. Overall, yeah, good re-engaging from Flash Wolves. They're really good at going into the fights and going backwards.
Face the Mountain still on cooldown, bud.
Yeah, he had faith, but it wasn't there. He actually has heal still available too, so let's watch that again here.
Right.
Tower almost going down here, so let's see. Maple gets caught, combo lands, but Maple with that Zonias and that ulti, so much zone. You really don't want to stack on top of him, and Kramer is dealing a lot of damage to Afro.
All right, so let's take a look at this here from Double Lift. Yeah, they were able to save the turret. Here comes his crit. He got one, and the ultimate was channeled, but Maple just blows him up. Yeah.
He also tanks the ulti and then uses his own ultimate to get out of there. So Maple takes one for the team. 2-for-1 trade there from for Flash Wolves.
There's a reason that Maple's so talked about. Oh, here we go. Karsa's going to have to get out. Yeah, he went for the second item. Titanic Hydra here.
Yep.
Which is... people have a lot of differing views on it right now. I'm not quite as big a fan, but on Rek'Sai it does feel pretty good. Just because the reset actually works very cleanly with her. Some champions it works better than others.
But yeah, this is turning Karsa into, he starts off as a tank, but he's becoming more of a damage threat. And suddenly, if you look at Flash Wolves, whereas initially we looked at, Stake and Karsa are going to get very, very tanky, both of them are becoming damage threats. So we see 4 carries emerge in front of Flash Wolves. It's going to be hard to play against for CLG.
That is true. He does sacrifice a lot of tankiness. Yeah. He hasn't built any armor with this build.
No Aegis yet.
And Double Lift can just rip through that health. This is very easy, even though you have a lot of health. It just makes any little bit of armor that you would buy on top of that even more efficient.
Yeah, and look at Sword Art. He's actually starting to build an Aegis, so he has the burden of the Aegis, so he can never even get Zeke. So later on, Kramer may run into some damage problems really later in the fight, because if Afro goes for that item, obviously big damage swings in terms of AD carries, and at one point they will 1v1 each other in the fight.
Yeah, and just to note, in that last replay, Flash Wolves did get their 3rd dragon as well, so that's starting to mount up as a win condition for the team. 31.5 minutes in almost, and once again, Dragon is down. We are back to dancing around the Baron, but neither team has managed to find an edge yet.
But yeah, CLG did the right thing with that Baron Pit. It is not enough to have only vision around the Baron Pit. You really want it deeper into the jungle so you can force basically multiple layers of face check. People have to be afraid to face check 4 brushes in a row, because if they take the hesitant path and face check them slowly one by one, that's the time it takes for you to take Baron. And then obviously it becomes incredibly hard to play against that. So that's what CLG wants to get right now, and Flash Wolves, they want to stop that from happening.
And Karsa actually burns the ulti to make sure that happens as well. Afro trying to peek around for a player's double lift will shove out the top turret. But Stake is ready with that TP. Have to be careful.
Both top laners are ready.
Whoa, Karsa swoops in there into X-Smithy. Brom Stun will land there. The damage is out, but the Chompers will zone them away. Maple looking to dive in, goes aggro with the double. It finds himself the stun. Zion off the other side does go down to Karsa, and now they're going to swoop in onto Afro. No ulti left for the Alistar, as he will die as well.
Yeah, because Double Lift was stunned there by Maple, that bot Flash was the time to tear through the front line, get 2 kills, and I was going to get incredibly hard for CLG to stop this Baron.
That was a huge pick right there. Karsa going in onto Smithy and chunking him low. It meant that they could collapse on the teleport from Zion, and it looks like they're going to grab Baron here.
Double Lift maybe look for a steal here with the ultimate, but that's about all he can. Doesn't land it. Kramer able to secure it, and the Flash Wolves finally get the first big lead in this game.
Yeah, Maple doing exactly what is expected of an assassin. Come in at the flank, keep them busy. Either you kill somebody 1-for-1, or you keep multiple members busy and you back out. This is what Echo is so fantastically good at in the mid lane. He goes in, has Zhonya's, pops ulti back out, and in that time frame, Zion Spartan melted, and Afromu, he was caught with a break. With his ultimate, he's still gonna go down.
The coordination there on Flash Wolves definitely superior here. So there goes Karsa, able to get Smithy, and they burn him down so much. There's really no threat here, and they can easily collapse. As you said, Maple locks up the entire back line and then just ults out.
Yep, this says peace. Like you mentioned, Afro, ulti or not, isn't going to leave through all that many members. So the question now, what can Flash Wolves do with this lead? It's not that massive gold-wise, but Baron is a huge objective for momentum and really trying to snowball the game.
I mean, CLG, when they're defending their towers, they're not going to be stuck in choke points like they were. That this probably was one of the worst spots to fight rather for CLG, because the way Flash Wolves came in, Karsa came in from a flank over a wall, Maple came in from that same flank in a choke point, then your parallel convergence is just so good at zoning. Either they walk into it and get stunned, or they can't even enter the fight. So really a good team fight here by Flash Wolves.
Yeah, CLG cannot afford for one of their backline members to get flanked again.
See Flash Wolves starting to again press their advantage a bit more. They've got Dragons coming up. We have number 4 for the team back in a minute 20. The Flash Wolves, though, going to just shove down mid lane any way they can.
And Stake ended his hunger strike. As Himara Cannon said it, he now finished Thornmail, so he starts off as this split pusher DPS, but then he becomes an unkillable tank, and again, he's like hybrid damage threat and tank, but it's incredibly hard to focus him down with that Thorn Mail. 1 tower falls, 2 towers fall, combo comes in.
Yeah, Afro looking for it, but he gets stunned up. The tower will fall. Ulti out from Brom's going to zone them away. Caster going to try and dive back in, but Zion able to keep them out. Maple can't quite find his way through, but they're just going to keep going. Flash rolls. It's all brute force right now.
Double trying to chase them off.
Look at that ghost railing though. Maple's ready to go back in.
Yeah, Double wants it. Does get the slow into Sword Art. Kramer going to take the Raptors on the exit out here. They know Dragon's up soon. They want to be in position for it.
Ooh, Maple might ultimate use his Echo ultimate to come
Does
down
do
here.
it.
So they've used not only his ultimate, but also the Rek'Sai ultimate. Everybody keeping up the siege, and Zion,
Yeah.
the turn's going down.
Caught out now. Zion actually just dead as the turret falls as well. No, he will live for just a bit longer, but the Baron up minions will select it. Now Maple pumps his onions, dodging that cocoon. Sword Art on the backline. He's going to die. Double Lift is firing away. Stake is low now up to the side as he's forced to flash. Pobelta snipes it with a glitter lance just off the edge. And CLG, they'll keep running. Pobelta does get it again. Picks up the double.
Scratch that. Pobelta, most important player on CLG here. He's able to get the double kill for themselves, and Double Lift thinking about face checking, able to get the choppers down first.
If those traps were any farther in that burst, they would have connected here on Crip. Good move by CLG. They thought the pressure. They realized, or perhaps not even realized, that the ulti was used on Echo, and that honestly was a very greedy move here by Maple, because he really needed that ulti to get back out of the fight. Once CLG gets 1 kill, the resets come in. Pobelta picks up 2, and most importantly, they get the dragon.
Yep, denying that 4th dragon and kind of relinquishing the threat of the 5th for a bit longer is important here for CLG, but it has been a scrappy game as we are going to have a replay.
All right, so here goes the tower dive. It actually had only 2 hits left on it for Kramer there. He's able to take it out. So much used on Zion, though. Maple went all in. There's the exhaust.
Exhaust comes out. Maple, he's now stuck, so he has to get out. He can't even go aggressively anymore. Stake has to disengage. And in this position, Flash Wolves have a very hard time winning the fight. If Maple had ulti, yeah, he could zone, but Double Lift, so much damage. Pobelta flashes aggressively. Right. Target the Krugs on your way out, and good move. We see Karsa here.
Yeah.
Who's fighting who?
I don't know. Ulti is not going to connect. Sword Art blocks it. Karsa flashes. Does not want to get caught. CLG almost find themselves a pick. Double Lift starting to get crazy strong.
Yeah, Aphromoo actually gave him a little bump over closer to safety there. Unfortunate.
It's really hard nowadays, Alistar.
Yeah,
Even
I'm
Aphromoo.
dead again. Okay, here you go, Crampo. You've been having your troubles, I know. I actually had to play on North America from over here in Europe, and I could pull it off, okay? So I don't want to hear your
I
excuses.
saw that game. You were 0-3 at 10 minutes, dude.
True enough. All right, here, though. Aphromoo going to look to turn his 0-3 around. Looks like he will go for the Zeeks. It's going to be a long time coming, though, because he did upgrade his Sightstone first.
I mean, we're looking at the next Baron spawn to really be the match that lights the explosion. That's going to be the big fight here. Both AD carries approaching 4. Double Lift even has a QSS, so that's big. He can deny one of these crowd control effects. So if parallel convergence comes out, he no longer has to be scared to walk into it. He still has to be scared of the damage coming out of Echo, but at least that zoning tool is less efficient, less effective for the Flash Wolves. Let's see if they change their strategy in the fight around that.
And I think we expected maybe a closer game here, and that's what we've gotten here, but a longer game as well. 10 minutes more on average than the games currently at Worlds so far. But you can tell Flash Wolves still trying to push things down. Double had to recall. He's way out of position.
Again, Sword Out, able to protect the minion wave, blocks the wave clear. They even have the banner of command here, with CLG reinforcements come down, and they're able to clear it out. Big wave top as well that they were able to pressure.
Yeah, banner not used for split push. Very inefficient if you just use it straight in the lane. Very easy to kill. Obviously, if you have Baron buff, then Baron becomes really good, but before that, you need to use it in the side lane.
Instead, now it's CLG that are going to try and tear down the mid lane. Both teams, again, have really looked for a big 5v5 at no openings really except for that Baron from the Flash Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, after that one really good pick there from Flash Wolves on the top side, they got a huge chunk, pretty much all this gold lead, but there's so much standing going on.
Oh my god, he's completely dead! Nice combo from CLG, and they'll keep running down. Sword Art getting crit. CLG find the opening they needed.
Yeah, we may call them the no flash rules or flash on cooldown on 4 of the members. 80 carry drop. This mid lane tower is under siege. Baron spawning in mid. This could be the game-winning opening for CLG.
Huge play there from Zion. I don't even know how Kramer got in that position, but CLG are going to take it and they're going to run with it straight up the gut.
And it costs you so much when you make mistakes this late into a game. But CLG will finally crack an inhibitor as the mid lane one does fall down.
Ooh, that is an expensive mistake here. CLG, they could straight up run for Baron too if they want to. They don't really seem to want to go for 50-50.
Oh,
goes the
good play there. Gets the combo from Maple. Comes his way back in. He wants double. He pops his Zonia's stack. He's deep into the back lines there, but he can't get the ulti. Big scoop there. Finds on the 4, but CLG, they are still fighting. Stake's going to get done by Zion Spartan, and he will live through it as well.
Flash Wolves held them to 1 kill after that reinitiation though, and CLG have lost control of the map now because Zion has to go back and heal. He does have teleport though, so actually they're going to set down ward coverage around Baron first. Zion going back to heal right now and teleport back in. He could go for a flank. There is no stake.
And he still has ultimate because he's above level 16 at that point, using that until he gets reset. What ward?
Dude,
there's wards on the map.
There's so many wards they can teleport in with Zion. He has home guards as well. They're trying to bait them in here. 25 seconds left on stake.
The CLG special Baron has been started though. Zion teleporting in. He's going to look for a flank, and CLG are going to unleash. Maple has been caught. He's going to 1v1 the Darius, and Zion more than happy to try and fight the Wolves. They are fleeing. Zion will flash in, and a buster shot's going to disengage. Now Pobelts are going to chase. They need 1 kill. Afro misses the pulverize. And CLG are still fighting. Ulti will get flashed away.
He spawned.
Now Carson gets struck. Kramer. Oh, misses the last crit there. Now Carson getting down as the shutdown will happen. Now Sword Art, he's going to get chased down. CLG, they need a little bit more. There's at least with the double. And they're just going off. The late game team fighting so strong.
What a comeback for CLG there. They're able to bait it, and that's going to turn into at least 2 inhibitors. 40 seconds left on 2 members. They can even pressure for more.
Yeah, they're 5 against 3 right here. Stake has to really make some fancy move. Kramer's busy wave clear. CLG is looking at Nexus towers.
Yeah, they're going to try for it. Maple gets grabbed up. Combo lands in. Stake looks for it. Huge scoop back. Double gets stunned. Kramer gets the first kill onto Afro, and Zion has to run out. He's so tanky with the help, but Kramer gets cocooned. He'll get shut down, but Elise has gone down. It's just so crazy.
Double lift is still up though. They can go straight for Nexus turrets. They have minions. Stake can't get back in time.
No, he can't now. They are going to try and knock it down. 1 turret falls. CLG getting in a crazy game. They're going to try and knock it down. They are behind in gold as they take out the Nexus, but CLG